Devotees, welcome to service. Blessings to all of you who have joined us on whatever platform. We are about to begin, so we join in our normal opening prayer. These wonderful slok from the Ved. So let's visualize, stable the mind, concentrate. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah Om Shri Saraswatyaye Namah Om Shanno Mitraha Sham Varunah Shanno Bhavat Aryamah Shanno Indro Brihaspati Shanno Vishnu Rukramah Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva pratyaksham brahma vadishyami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmahamavatu tadvataramavatu avatu maham avatu vattaram Om Shanti 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 Varnanamartha Sanghana Rasana Chandasamati Mangalanam Chakarataru Vande Vari Vinayako Hari Om Tat Sat Om Shri Sita Ramachandraya Namo Namaha. Glory Shri Raja Ramachandra ki jai. Kindly be seated, devotees. Devotees, we will proceed. So our chaupais will join together, and then we'll bar Akshar Mantra as we normally do, and then we will focus on a few chaupais, as we say, from Sri Ramcharitamanas, Goswami Tulsidas Ji. प्रवेशे नगर की भी सब हृदय राखी कौशलपुर राजा रथ चरि सिंहासहित भाई चले बनी अवधि शिर नाई जहाँ के सुमिरन तेरी तू नाश नाम शत्रु हनुदीप प्रकाश विश्व हरण पोषण कर जोई कर नाम भरत सोई जब तेरा रामा जब तेरा मन ब्याही घर था धर्म में असरत जाती, गीतन कहन तरूरी ताती। जय राम श्री राम, जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम राम, जय जय सीता राम, जय जय वह शोभाजु समझ सुख, कहतन वने खगेश, वरमें शारद शीस श्रुति, सोरस जान महेश सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। बंदो पवन कुमार, खलबन पवक ज्ञान घना, जासु हृदय आहगर, बस ही राम शरचाप धर। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो 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 भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय। बोले श्री वासुदेव भगवान की जय। Now devotees, that I mentioned, we are going to look at the Ramayana discourse, but we prepare ourselves. So let's, as we normally do, simple journey, Gyaan, Devi and Bholinath. Then we'll get into Ramayana Katha. So we visualize Matang Mukh Mahaganapati, Vigna Vinayak Siddhi Dayak. Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Vidyadayak Buddhi Pradayak Vidyadayak Vidyadayak Buddhi Pradayak Siddhi Vinayak E Shubhadayak Siddhi Vinayak E Shubhadayak Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gajavadana Gananatha Natha बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे भगवती देवी नमो वरदे। जय पाप विनाशनी बहुफलदे। जय पाप विनाशनी बहुफलदे। जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे। जय शुंभ निशुंभ कपालधारे। जय शुंभ निशुंभ कपालधारे। प्रणमामि तु देवी नरतिहरे। प्रणमामि तु देवी नरतिहरे। जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे। जय दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। काली कपालिनी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। काली कपालिनी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। परम शिवानी माँ, जय जय शानी माँ। परम शिवानी माँ, जय जय शानी माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। हे दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। परम शर्वाणी माँ, जय जय अंबिका माँ। परम शर्वाणी माँ, जय जय अंबिका माँ। ओ जय जय चंडिका माँ। ओ जय जय अंबिका माँ। परम शर्वाणी माँ, जय जय अंबिका माँ। ओ जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। हे दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। बोले सियार शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव। श्वेतांबर पीतांबर कति में बाघंबर सजे, कति में बाघंबर सजे, ओ कति में बाघंबर सजे। गलमाला रुंदन की, गलमाला रुंदन की, करदम रूप जी। ओम जय 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 महादेव। शीश जटा बहे गंगा, उज्ज्वल चंद्रानन सोहे, उज्ज्वल चंद्रानन सोहे, उज्ज्वल चंद्रानन सोहे। स्वामी समाधि लगाए, स्वामी समाधि लगाए, त्रिभुवन मन मोहे। ओम जय 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 महादेव। नीलकंठ भक्तन हित तुमने, विष का पान किया, तुमने विष का पान किया, तो तुमने विष का पान किया। असुरों को संहार के, असुरों को संहार के, जग का त्राण किया। ओम जय 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 महादेव। रूपयलौकिक अर्धनारीश्वर, तुम हो त्रिपुरारी। त्रिलोचन तुम हो त्रिपुरारी, त्रिलोचन तुम हो त्रिपुरारी। शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर, शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर, तांडव गति धारी। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव। बोले श्री राजा रामचंद्र की जय। उमापति महादेव की। ओ राम 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 बोले। ओ राम 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 बोले। हे राम बोले, राम बोले। bole, Ram bole. Hey Ram, 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 Ram bole. Oh Ram, 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 Ram bole. Ram, 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 Nanda Rama. Ram, 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 Nanda Rama. Oh Rama, 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 Param Dhama. Ram, 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 Param Dhama. Oh Rama, 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 Raghu Rama. Ram, 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 Raghu Rama. Oh Rama, 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 Sukha Dhama. Ram, 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 Sukha Dhama. Rama, 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 Ram, Ram bole. Oh Rama bole, Ram bole. Ram bole, Ram bole. Oh Rama, 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 Ram, Ram bole. Ram bole, O Ram bole. Bole Shri Raja Ramachandra ki jai. Devotees, so I'm going to look at this discourse which we have done many times, where we go to where people have passed away, and we try to impact upon them the importance of control of the mind. Bhagwan Shankar had mentioned to Goddess Parvati that he listened to Ramayana Katha from the beak of Kaghushund, that crow, which according to Ramayana, liberated being. Parvati Ma had some doubts in her mind. Oh Lord, she said to Bhagwan Shankar, Ramayana Katha flew from your mind as it flew from your heart. How and under what circumstances did you listen to this katha from the beak of that crow? And you mentioned that that crow was a liberated being. I am aware, O Lord, out of many, many millions, you will find one who genuinely pursues a path of liberation. And if you find many millions of such one may attain that state of liberation. Are you telling me, Lord, that that one is a crow? Not some great Swami Mahatma, a crow? A very devious bird? So, these doubts are in my mind, Bholenath. Prabhu, He Kripalu, please remove these doubts of mine. Now, the devotee, the doubt was not on what Bhagwan Shankar was saying, we must understand that. The doubt was in her own ability to process what was being said. You have to understand, we can have doubts. I can have doubt on you, what you're telling me. I doubt you. But I can also, you know what you're saying, I cannot doubt it, but the doubts in my mind, my inability to process, to assimilate what you are saying to me. So the problem is not Lord Shiva's problem, it is Parvati's problem. So devotees, we have to understand also. You know, in the world of duality, it's not only one directional. To understand things, you have to look at all different angles. And herein lies a big problem for many people. They look only at one particular angle, tunnel vision, and they make decisions based upon that. So I'm putting this to you. The same way when Vibhishan, bowed to Sri Ram and said, Lord, how is it expected that you can defeat that powerful Ravan? So ill-equipped you are, and Ravan so well-equipped that he is. And again I made the point that the doubt is not on Sri Ram. Vibhishan couldn't understand how it is possible that Sri Ram could defeat. So ill-prepared he was from a material perspective, such a powerful opponent as Ravan. And therefore, when we have this type of doubt devotees, you bet the doubts are removed. I like to emphasize this point. If you have doubts based upon your own weaknesses, your own inability, I will try to remove those doubts. If you have doubts because of what I am saying, you doubt me as a person, then no matter what I tell you, you won't accept what I am saying. So I would not waste my time with you. Now all your lessons for life, understand it. So arguments will stop. If I realize that you just want to criticize, condemn what I am saying, I won't waste my time with you because you have already blocked me out. But if you understand that it's your problem, it's your weakness, and you're asking for help, so to speak, in removing this doubt, by all means, I will agree and proceed. So you see, talking is not simple, no? Vaikhari, speech, very, very important. But most of us just talk. But you have to go deeper than that. Okay? So start off with our devotees. Parvati, remember, she symbolizes the purified intellect. Shivaji, Atma. Adi Shankar has said, Atma tvam girijamati. O Shiva, you are Atma, unchangeable. Girija Mati. The intellect, Girija. And we have explained time and again, we shall briefly mention it here. Before Parvati became Parvati, she was Sati. So Sati became Parvati, but we shall briefly listen to how it happened. But all these things, devotees, psychological, internalize, we have to internalize a lot to understand. It can help us a lot to avoid a lot of conflict, confusion, and save a lot of precious time, which, as we all know, invaluable. Time waits on no man. Bhagavan Shankar, on listening to the position of Parvati, he said, hey Parvati, I'm going to explain something to you. But man lagakar suno. Stable your mind and listen. So we have said this over and over. Right? You don't listen with the ears only. The ears happen to be the medium. But if the mind, if manan, focus, is not placed upon what you're listening to, then that process of listening is a failure. You have to listen with attention. The mind is focused. Oh Parvati, the mind is very tenacious, turbulent. Stable the mind, focus. I shall explain to you something. कथा सुनी भव मोचनी सुप्रसंग सुनु सुमुखी सुलोचनी प्रथम दक्ष रामा प्रथम दक्ष गृह तब सती नाम तब जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय Rama Rama Jaya Jaya Sita Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. हे पार्वती, मैंने जैसे यह संसार के दुख छुड़ाने वाली कथा सुनी, हे सुंदर मुखी, हे सुंदर नेत्र वाली सो कथा सुनो। जब तुम्हारा पहले 10 गृह अवतार हुआ था तब तुम्हारा नाम सती था, कदाचित स्मरण होगा। भगवान शंकर सिंह, ओ गॉडेस, ओ पार्वती, आई एम गोइंग टू रिलेट टू यू एन एपिसोड दैट कैन रिमूव द अनहैप्पीनेस ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड। संसार के दुख छुड़ाने वाली कथा। So devotees up front, if you pay attention to what is being said, no matter what state of mind you being negative, disturbed, whatever, if you put your mind and listen to this episode, the power of it can remove all the stresses. In other words, not that the stress will go away all of a sudden, Your thinking will become different. Your attitude will change. You will get deeper understanding of your own reaction to external stimuli. And so, under such circumstances, the so-called source of unhappiness will no longer confront you. I want you to understand what I am saying. I'm pointing everything is within. If I don't change the inside, nothing in the outside, I can't change the outside. So nothing changes. So when I say that the katha will remove the unhappiness, some people may think that it's a magic. Listen to the katha and all the trouble gone. How does it happen? How does it happen? In the first place, why are you unhappy? What caused your problem? Your state of mind. Right? Something may happen, you get a reaction, how you react to that. So the problem is not the outside. The problem is how we react to the stimuli. Follow me closely. And if therefore that is the problem, I can't try to correct the stimuli. I have to correct where the source of reaction comes from. That is inside of me. So in other words, by listening to the katha, certain changes can take place within me. Clearer understanding comes. I've been in a better position to handle no matter what. Not only that unhappiness, but anyone. Everything stems from inside. Devotees have been saying this over and over. You don't sit down and hope and pray by some magic that outside everything will become well, just like that. What I want you to understand, if you have a problem, this causes a problem today, and just suppose what we say here, the power of the katha, move it out. Then tomorrow something else is a problem. So you have to come back and hear the katha again. We'll move that. Whereas if you follow what I am saying, you find the solution inside of you, then no matter what, not this, not that, any problem arises, you'll be able to solve it. You become unaffected by it. Understand that the solution comes from within. And we keep saying this over and over. People don't seem to realize that the power we have inside of us. We are very much extrovert outside. Everything is on the outside. Whereas, yatha pinde, tatha brahmande, everything inside of me. So devotees, what I am saying here, you have to listen. That's why he said beginning, man laga kar suno. If you don't listen, the katha won't just do some, remove your problem, That is why we have to listen to the katha. So katha suni. Listen, Parvati. Why? Managa kar suno, stable in mind, listen. Because of what I just said. Certain effect will take hold of the mind. And your perception becomes different. The outside changes. This is what I mean by, you don't change the scenery. You change your vision. You keep changing the scenery, constant change. If you don't change the vision, the psychological state, the psyche needs to change. So I want you all to understand that, right? Especially the young ones who have to face up to life challenges yet. If you strengthen your mind, this is why I'm presenting these kathas. Strengthen your mind, you're in a different place. Nothing is a problem. You're able to handle anything. But the solution comes from inside. So that's one point. So here, Bhagavan is saying, संसार के दुख छुड़ाने वाली कथा सुनो. And I don't know if you read into what I am saying too much, devotees. Now the katha will do that for you, you know. Listening to the katha will do it for you. I made a point many times when Dhundhukari, right, was this Mahapapi, when they did Bhagavad Katha to liberate him. It's not the Bhagavad Katha liberated him, you know. It's listening to the Bhagavad Katha liberated him. Understand the difference. I can read Bhagavad Katha from now till when, and you listen anything to what I am saying. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. You have to do something. Everything is a result of karma. Therefore, to remove whatever, you have to perform karma. The right karma. And in this context, the right karma is listening. Listening with the right attitude. He who doesn't listen, who can't listen, you'll always be in problem. You never learn. You never learn. And remember, listening is a technique. You don't listen with the ears only. You listen with the mind. Analyze what you're hearing. At this point, I would expect all of you, if not most of you, to understand the point I'm making to you. Try to get inside. The change takes place inside. Genuine change. Now, Bhagavan Shankar, he says, Hey Sundar Mukhi, Hey Sundar Netravali. O beautiful faced one, O beautiful eyed one. I'm speaking to consort Parvati Ma. And this goes without saying, if you understand. Word, speech, vaikhari. There are 4 ways of communication. Right? Most SCAPE students do communication. Right? Hinduism tells you vaikhari, God's speech, madhyama, mental, pashyanti, that a higher level, paravani, when Shiva speaks to Parvati. Now when you speak of communication, what do you speak about? What people say, what do you understand? That is gross. What about mental communication? The yogis, right? They are communicated with through meditation, pashya, seeing, at a higher level, not physically seeing. And parabani, when Shiva speaks to Goddess Parvati, the supreme speech. If you understand what communication is all about, vaikhari is the lowest form when we talk. You know, I say something, you understand something different because language is like that. You know, language is like that. Sometimes experience, previous experience, help us to understand things differently. So, vaikhari, plenty confusion. Plenty confusion. I say this, you understand that. Sometimes we don't listen good and jump to your own conclusion. That's the lowest form, you know. But we can't help it, we communicate like that, at least until we reach a certain level of you know, perfection, let's say, spirituality. So when we speak to each other, terms of endearment go a long way in helping to build relationships. Terms of endearment. Speech, the power of speech. And speech is Vani. Varana marta sanghanang rasanang chandasamapi. I started off by saying that. Vande Vani Vinayaku. I bow to Vani, the goddess of speech. So in other words, when the scriptures tell us, as we explained in a previous service, Chod burai, kar bhulai, chod purai ninda, jhoot na bol, sat ki tol, mithi boli boli. By maintaining the right principles, that in itself is a worship of Devi. You cannot be, offered her, do all kind of job for Devi, and you're telling lies. You are harsh, you are vicious, you're criticizing, you're condemning. You're not worshipping Devi. You may not offer her, no all these practices, but speech, sweet, gentle, meaningful, but for the benefit of all, that is worship of Devi. And that has plenty effect. So when people sit down and push-pushawi, as we keep saying, bad talking this one, bad talking that one, that's just plain downright bad habit. And you incur sin. You suffer the consequences for it. But it's your choice. Your choice. So devotees understand the power of speech. We can't state it as such. Speech is very, very powerful. So, look at it, and even within families and so on, even children. If you tell a child he's stupid, the child will believe he's stupid. Right? I mean, I put it in my way. You keep calling somebody a donkey, one day they will start to bury. The speech having that effect. So what we need to do, analyze differently now. And again, this is your own journey. People have their challenges, they have their problems, but what we need to do, speak to them properly. Words of encouragement. Must have Gyaan, words of wisdom, Vairag, dispassion, Bhakti, words of devotion. Whatever we say should be aimed at helping them along this pathway of life. So devotees, the example is set by the perfect master Shiva himself, speaking to Goddess Parvati. Hey Sundar Mukhi, hey Sundar Netravali, beautiful faced one, beautiful eyed one. Now I won't go into beauty, what beauty is about. That will distract us. Just remember that beauty is not only physical. Yeah? So if we take this Sundar Mukhi, a beautiful face, they say good looks but dirty tricks? Read into all that. Parvati was pure, beautiful from inside out. Sundar Mukhi, right? I mean, face, beautiful face. What to speak, what you see, everything is pure, perfect. You see the right things. You look for faults. You see the correct things. You see things at a principle level, devotees. So just to touch these things, every word here has meaning. Every word. But you see, we bypass these things because the story only. The story is good, but the story conveys to us in more ways than one the attitude we need to have. So devotees, that one chaupai, that half of it, as we say, could be a whole morning discourse. Let's move on. Bhagavan Shankar is saying, Goddess Parvati, this discourse, this episode is very powerful. Now I want to draw your mind, O Parvati, to your previous birth, when you were the daughter of Daksh Prajapati. At that time your name was Sati. Perhaps you can remember. So he's taken her down memory lane, not when she was small, the past life. So again, without elaboration, we lived in the past, we are here now, we'll come back again. The law of reincarnation is a cosmological law. One of these days we will deal with that specifically. But coming hand in hand with reincarnation, the law of karma, and of course transmigration of soul. So we'll leave that for some other discourse. But remember, everybody, in the Gita Bhagavan says, O Arjun, there was never a time when I or you were not. Neither will there be a time when we will cease to be. Everybody. Whether we accept it or not, we lived in the past, we are here now, we'll come back. And intertwined with all this reincarnation, 8,400,000 species of creation, interspecies movement is transmigration. And karma is the root cause that dictates everything that happens to every single person. Your karma. You create your own destiny. So devotees, all that you have to understand. But here, Parvati Ma was being reminded by Bhagavan Shankar. Remember, past birth. I take you back to there, O Parvati, when you were the daughter of Daksh. Your name was Sati.
मम अनुचरण कीन्हमक बंध जानहु सो तुम सकल प्रसंग जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
जब दक्ष के यज्ञ में हमारा अपमान हुआ तब तुमने क्रोध से शरीर त्याग किया है पार्वती, और मेरे सेवकों ने आकर दक्ष का यज्ञ भंग किया। सो सब प्रसंग तुम जानती ही हो। Your father had a yajna, O Parvati, and you insisted on going. When you went to that yajna, against my best wishes, against my best analysis at what should be done under these circumstances, because there was a situation existing between your father and us. Not on our part, but your father's side. He had some problems. And I explained to you, Parvati, one can go to one's parents' home at any time, to one's guru's home at any time, to one's friend's home, to one's master's home at any time. But if ever there is any situation existing, any friction, do not go without invitation. I know, Sati, we were not invited, but you insisted, you went to the yajna. And when you went to that yajna, you saw that I was grossly disrespected by your father, Daksh. In every yajna, Shiva is worshipped. Daksh was doing a yajna and he chose not to worship Shiva. A unilateral decision he took. And it is said, when Sati saw that, Bhagwan Shankara Singh Parvati, remember, you burnt yourself in your father's yajna. You burnt yourself. And all these kathas, devotees, have plenty deeper meaning. You know, when people talk about when a husband dies, you commit sati, what it means, you can touch all these things, but not this morning. Devotee Bhagwan Shankar is relating to that incident. Sati, when you burnt yourself, my disciples who I had sent to protect you, they destroyed that yajna. And Daksh himself was punished. Your father was punished for his misdemeanor, O Sati. Perhaps, O Parvati, perhaps you can remember all those things. So up to that point you remember. Now let me tell you what happened afterwards, Parvati. After you burnt yourself in your father's yajna, I was left alone on Kailas Parvat. My life companion was not with me. And devotees, I'm not elaborating on that, but you can think how difficult that could be. That you live with someone for so many years and then that person is gone. So you're alone in that house, alone, very much alone.
Tapayati shochibha yavumanamuri Dukhita bhayavuvi yoga priyaturi Vanagiri Sarita Karaga Ram Kautuk dekhat tirun viraga Ram Sundara Vanagiri Sarita Karaga Kautuk dekhat tirun viraga
हे प्रिय, तब मेरे मन में बड़ा शोक हुआ। मैं तुम्हारे वियोग में बड़ी दुखी हुआ। विरह से सुंदर वन पर्वत नदी तालाब इन स्थानों में एकमात्र कौतुक देखता फिरता था। O Parvati, recognizing that you have left the world, I was left alone on Kailash Parvat. I was very disturbed, very unhappy. I was drowning in that self-separation from you. Now devotees, notice the Lord is expressing how human beings behave. We all have these, tendencies. The question is that, it's a natural thing in the sense that how we are made up. Right? Again, I won't go into any details, but we all made up of the Pancha Tattva, the 5 elements, which quintuplicated, create 25 tattvas in everybody. So things like worry, things like grief, etc., natural to everybody. So once there's an external stimuli or stimulus, right, you find automatically we react, because this is how we are made. Naturally we are made like that, everybody. So it's a natural thing, but here we are trying to pay some attention to what happens under such a circumstance. And the question is, yes, the reaction is here, but do we allow it to overpower us, or will you try to transcend? So here, Katha is telling us how to transcend, what we need to do. But the point remains that when there's separation, people live together for so this length of time, and separation temporarily creates pain. Imagine for permanent separation. So, as we keep saying, think about it, you live in this house, you live with your consort, and for all these years you're together, and all of a sudden that person not there again. You bet anything, there are certain parts of the house you never go. You won't want to go. It brings back memories, and this is why I keep saying over and over, people live with memories. Memories. Life is about memories. And it depends upon the kind of memories we create. That will determine our present state. Alright? But no matter what, beautiful memories could also bring pain. Isn't that so? Bhagwan Shankar said, Parvati, anyway I looked that cave in which we live, I saw something to remind me of you. So that I was very, very unsettled, restless, to say the least. I couldn't stand Kailas Parvat. I couldn't remain there. Any side I turned, I saw something to remind me of you, memories. I decided to leave Kailas Parvat and travel. My mind was in distress. Notice, we are going to the mind. Yeah? Bhayahu manamuri. Ati atishtava atisoch bhayahu manamuri. So the mind is the operative word here. The mind. Shiva is saying, Bhagwan Shankar is saying, my mind was overpowered by grief. Pangs of separation from you. Mind. So devotees, we have explained time and again, you look at Hanuman Baba, Panchmukhi Hanuman. Hanuman represents the mind principle in everybody. And there are 5 mental planes. Chiptam, Urham, Vikshiptam, Ekagram, Niruddham. There is the raving mind, put it simple terms, forgetful mind, oscillating mind, one-pointed and restrained. At any point in time, one of these 5 states of mind dominate. They're dominant in us, based upon most of us external stimuli. That's when we don't have the control. The external factors automatically trigger off certain reactions in us. So like when something happens, the first thing, the mind begins to jump all about, wave all about. Why this, why that, waving mind. Then when pressure builds up and so on, you have the forgetful mind, we put it simply, people go in depression. They become lost, depression. Then we start to analyze why the mind oscillates between 2 points. But it doesn't go beyond those 2 points. You think in a box. You dare not think outside the box. Everybody is faced up with this. Is faced with this. Everybody. You have to analyze it. Don't think you're beyond this now. Because if you're beyond this in your own mind, then I have to add another state of mind. 35. I don't want to tell you what it is. Right? But everybody has to be caught up in one of these. One-pointed mind, we're trained the 2 higher levels. So devotees, this journey is about the mind. When Shiva would now hear this, then automatically what would happen? Why? How it happened? The mind would wave as such. The mind would become depressed. This is what he was saying. Ati soch bhayo manamuri. And when there's depression, you have no zeal. Right? When you're in grief, you worry. All your symptoms. And you see, you can talk about all these things. If you look at people, you look at the children, whatever, you can actually say what they're going through, When you see by behavioral patterns, they don't care to eat, only locked up inside the room. They don't want to bathe, whatever. Certain actions tell us the state of mind they're in, whether they're impending depression or already in depression. Many of us don't understand that. You see? Sometimes we get angry. The child playing the fool. She lock up herself in the room. She want to come out. She want to eat. You have to ask why. Is it that there is an impending depression? Nothing happens just like that. Okay? And devotees, people want to be parents, but without decent cannot understand. That's why you see parenthood. You need to prepare yourself for it, Not just to have children, to bring them up. To look at all the different changes they have to undergo, the challenges they face with, which could be different from what we faced with when we were younger. But who prepares? How you prepare? I don't want to be too caustic in this whole thing, but make sure you got the best sari, you got the best clothes, the best place to dress up, the decoration, you got the best, what do you call them fellas? Them fellas will take care of everything, no? And no matter what, right? And have a master reception, all them kind of thing, right? That preparation for wedding, for life. And when real life comes to live as such, you're at sea, you're lost totally. Because there is no psychological reorientation, no preparation. No preparation. Now, many may say, like our parents long time, they had to prepare themselves. The structure of the family long time was different. Everybody lived in the same house. So when a young man got married, his consort came, the elders in the family guide him. Now, before you get married, you don't rent an apartment already. Who guiding you? And then you're too big, you won't listen to anybody. Internet guiding you. Trouble take you, then what's the problem? Think and see what happens. Devotees, some of the factors, there are some of the factors causing a lot of depression on all sides in society today. Young ones. Suicide, drug addiction, alcoholism. Because we're not prepared to deal with these things. And to me, all these things start in the home. In the home. Parents have to prepare themselves. Okay? So in other words, what I'm saying, devotees, why? Praying good, But if you understand what is happening, it helps you. You become proactive. You know, if you take the child to see a psychiatrist, you can take him to see the pundit, but not to stupid that somebody do the child something and get him mad. Many people come by me for that, But Guruji, why boy behaving so like somebody do? Don't mean stupidness, man. Then I will tell you, go and see a psychiatrist. Go see a psychologist. But I don't believe in that nonsense. Be practical. Okay? So devotees, how we are made up is natural reaction to external stimuli that these emotions come about. But how do we handle them? Important. So here Shivaji's mind was distressed. He decided to travel. Why? To see if he could find something to occupy his mind. His mind. The mind. You perceive the world through the mind. He said, "O Parvati, I traveled through many forested areas, beautiful wooded areas, nature, each site excelling the previous one in magnificence, in beauty, in... You know what, Parvati? Everything of beauty I saw caused me more pain." They say, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." That's what they say. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. That is if you have your loved ones with you to share those joys. If that beloved one is not there, what joy there is? Then that very same thing of beauty becomes a pain forever. How you transcend it? Devotees, you understand when people think this world only even make merry when you're dead, but you're living by guess. Everybody has to go through all these different situations in life. How you prepare yourself to face up to these circumstances. And those things won't happen to you. It happens to every single person, without exception. Shivaji, it happened to. So he's telling us how to handle it. He said, "Oh Parvati, but I didn't turn back. I kept on traveling. Aage chali, bahuri rahuraya." Going forward, as I mentioned, devotees, I don't drag yesterday baggage into today and say I'm going forward. I have to try to drop the baggage. Now Shivaji is trying to get something to occupy his mind, to take his mind off the loss of his beloved consort Sati. So he's looking for something to attract the mind. If something attracts the mind, then the memories of Sati would take a background. We all know that, right? Because once something occupies the mind, everything else takes a background. So devotees, he said, "Oh Sati, I continue to travel. I continue to travel, trying to find something to take my distress away, to remove my grief, to take my mind off this loss that I experienced losing you. Giru Sumeru Uttar Dishi Duri. I kept on traveling to the north, O Parvati, and way to the north of Sumeru Parvat, from a Hindu perspective, that like the axis of the earth, mountain, a huge mountain. Way to the north of Sumeru Parvat, way in the distance, I saw something that attracted my eyes. What I saw, O Parvati, a blue mountain, Neela Lake Sundar Bhuri. From the distance, I saw this huge blue mountain rising up above the world, very, very high. But what was very attractive about it? Tasu Kanakamai Shikar Suhai. There were 4 golden peaks on this mountain. Chari Charu. 4 Kanakamai Shikar Suhai. 4 golden peaks. So the blue mountain and right on top 4 separate peaks. O Parvati, when I saw that blue mountain with the 4 golden peaks, More Man Bhai, my mind was attracted. So you see, devotees, now what he is saying, all things of beauty before caused me pain. Didn't attract me. But now this, I saw something here. My mind was attracted. He saw the, difference in colors, he struck everything, whole physical. There was something about the mountain that attracted him. And devotees, I want to say to you, as you will hear, it's not purely physical. The beauty was here, but there was something more. But what he's saying, very instructively here, More Manabhai, my mind was attracted to it. So once your mind was attracted to that, whatever else was there in your mind will be dropped off. Right? So this is why I keep telling people, when you sit down to listen to Kirtan, your mind, go to that. You are here, not I see. Now for now, that moment alone. Once your mind attracted otherwise, you're not hearing what you're supposed to be hearing. Your mind strays. Don't tell me that you could mind attached to that. If the air condition working and you hear what I'm saying? No, never. Don't fool yourself. This is why we are told, Man laga karo suno. Stable the mind and listen. One moment the mind strays, that moment you lose out. Because your mind attached to something else. You can't have your mind attached to 15, 20 things at the same time. No matter how much you could multitask. Once your mind hits something, attracted to that, everything else falls by the wayside. Analyze and see. Devotees, the only way you can understand these things when you start to analyze yourself, you know. Okay? And, you know, I mean, I'm not talking by guess. I know what I'm telling you. Okay? That's why we keep telling people, you have to be careful what you do. You could sit down and you could say, you know, you're praying or whatever, the mind straying all about, you're not doing anything. You're not praying. You're losing out. This is why the mind, as I mentioned last week, like that bucking horse, you know, the horse that bucks a lot. Those who watch Western pictures and you see the cowboy have to tame the horse. Guru Vasishtha told Sri Ram that. What you have to do with that horse, boy? Jump on the horse, hold him. Horse bucking, jumping, kicking. Don't let go. But don't try to pull him back either because he will topple you. Let him jump and jump and jump and jump and he must get exhausted. And then you harness him. Training of the mind. It can't happen just so. All of us are cowboys, you know. But many of us can kick off the horse a long time. Kick off the horse. Example on the outside how to train the mind. And devotees, don't forget, we perceive the world through the mind. Majority of failure takes place because of weak minds. Weak minds. So here Bhagavan Shankar is saying, what I saw here, O Parvati, attracted my mind. So it means he will forget for that moment. We don't know for how long, but at that moment, he will forget about Sati, about whatever happened. He might even forget what he was doing here. Looking for, because if you see here, I'm trying to find something to attract my mind to forget Sati, then you're still thinking about Sati. Sometimes people say, Guruji, I'll try to forget. How you going to try to forget? The more you try to forget, the more you will remember. These small techniques people don't understand. I'm trying to forget. I'm trying to forget it. The more you try to forget your mind on that, as your mind think it, so you become it. It's stick in your head. You have to let it go forward. In other words, Bhagavan Shankar, nothing about Sati, nothing at all. Notice, he didn't say that. He said, Sati, Mori man bhai. When I saw that my mind was attracted, we interpret that to mean, forget everything otherwise. That there was in his mind uppermost. All understand what I'm saying? You have to go through these things, you know. To go through these things. So this is like one-pointed mind. One-pointed. Mind focus. Nothing else matters. Nothing else makes any difference. He said, Oh Parvati, I hastened forward to see what else again there was on that mountain. What else again I saw?
तिन्ह पर एक एक वितप विशाल वतपी पर हरि रसाल सुंदर सरसोहा शैलो परि सुंदर सरसोहा मनीषोपन देखी मन मोहा मनीषोपन देखी मन मोहा
तिन्ह पर एक एक वितप विशाला. Each golden peak, amongst all the other shrubbery, plants and so on that they had, the whatever they had here, there was one outstanding tree. One outstanding tree on each golden peak of Parvati. So notice what we are saying here. Right? Here, Blue Mountain, 4 golden peaks. On each peak, one outstanding tree. A bud tree, banyan tree. One peak. People tree, same people we have in Trinidad. and another peak. And another peak, Parker tree. That is the Indian fig tree. Not the banana. It's a family to the banana. We have family all about it in the plant kingdom. So that banana, the fig tree, right, is a sacred tree from Hindu perspective. And on another peak, there was the mango tree. And the devotees, I always say, don't ask me what kind of mango. If it's starch mango, dudus mango, kakapul mango, I don't know. Mango tree. Okay? So Bhagwan Shankar is saying, these 4 outstanding trees on each peak. But nestling between these 4 peaks, what a wonderful pond, O Parvati, with golden stairways leading up to it. Golden stairways. So devotees notice the kind of contrast in colors. If you have to paint a mental picture of this, otherwise, what is the purpose? Blue mountain, right? Golden color peaks, 4 outstanding trees on each peak, amongst other greenery. And then devotees, here you have this pond. Pond. Golden stairways leading up to it. And not what in that pond? Bhagwan says, oh Parvati, when I saw all that, dekhi manamoha, my mind was attracted. Everything else was out of my mind. Everything else was out of my mind. And devotees, we all know that when people find something to really attract your mind, you pay attention to nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. You know? I don't want to go too much on the wrong side, devotee, but sometimes when our children sing and they're watching the computer and things, and they're hearing nothing, they're seeing nothing. I mean, otherwise now. You call on them, they're not hearing you. They're hungry self. Watch and see what side they're on. You know what I'm talking about? See, go quietly and see what site they're on, what they're looking at, that hold their attention so much. Don't tell me chemistry holding their attention so much, no? Or physics, or maths, never. Check and see. If it's not porn. Some dirty sight. Attract the mind. When you see attracted so, you're here nothing again. You're lost. Lost. Sometimes big people, not only Joanna, big people too. You see the negative things of life, attract the mind to such an extent that they bind you. You don't have to get off. And something like what could really free you, the mind difficult to gravitate towards it. That I keep saying, Ramayana, scriptures, devotees, I keep saying, this thing here better than Valium, When people can't sleep, ask Baba to read Ramayana. And not me, because I will bawl at you. Read Ramayana and see, now for now you sleep away. The power of Ramayana. Yeah? What could free you? I'm tired. I do so much and so much. But some stupidness, you're never tired. Tell me if that's not true. So devotees, it is our problem that we behave in this kind of way. The spiritual ones, they saw positive things to attract the mind and throw all negativities out. Bhagwan Shankar is saying, this sight, O Parvati, what I saw here, nothing to compare with it. My mind was moha, deluded by it, totally absorbed by it. I went closer, O Parvati, to see what else there was in this pond. I went up the golden stairways. अमल मधुर जल जलज विपुल बहुरंग अरे शीतल अमल मधुर जल जलज विपुल बहुरंग हे राम जलज विपुल बहुरंग कूजत कलरव हंसगन गुंजत मंजुल बृंद सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरण. That pond, O Parvati, the water, Sheetal, Amal, Madhur, cool. Amal, pure, no impurities. Madhur, sweet to the taste. Sheetal, Amal, Madhur. Jalaja, Bipul, Bahurang, Lotus flowers of every single hue, description, blossomed on that pond. That'll pick the sight and devotees, way up above the world. Can you imagine how quiet up there is and peaceful and everything else? And in this pond, you're seeing lotus flowers that represent perfection. Spread out in this pond, huge pond. And then not only that, Kunjata Kalar Vahansagana. Then you had these swans, those stately, milk-white birds, like what Parvati Ma sits on, the Hans, the swan. Here they were, pure white in color, on that glassy surface of that pond, gliding along on the inverted images. Can you imagine that? And the Hans there, but the Hans underneath, inverted image, and gliding gracefully, gliding, many of them. And the scent, the sweetness of the flowers of the lotus. On all sides to Parvati, butterflies with the multicolored wings flitting. Bees in swarms going from flower to flower. Birds everywhere singing, making devotees to the ordinary air that are accustomed to hear a certain noise. That place real quiet. Real quiet. But listen carefully. There was a cacophony of sound. Mother Nature in all her glory, natural sounds of nature that don't disturb you, create peace within the mind. There was a kaleidoscope of colors as we see on all sides. Bhagavan Shankar is saying, Goddess Parvati, every now and then, one of the Hans may make a squawking sound while swimming in that, on the inverted image, that quiet atmosphere. That squawking sound will pierce the stillness of the atmosphere. It will come echoing back. Echoing back. What a place to be, devotees. Bhagavan Shankar is in Goddess Parvati, Nilgiri Parvat, the purest spot upon the face of the earth. Why am I saying all this, O Parvati? Listen.
तेहि गिरि रुचिर से खग सोई तासु न शकल पातन हुई माया कृत गुण दोष अनेका मोह मनोज आदि अविवेक माया कृत गुण दोष अनेका मोह मनोज आदि अविवेक आदि अविवेक रहमा आदि अविवेक
Tehi giri ruchir vase khagasoi. This bird you're asking me about, O Parvati, and devotees, in case all the discussion so far, you must have slipped where it started, Kaghushund. So Bhagavan Shankar is saying, Goddess Parvati, Tehi giri ruchir vase khagasoi. This bird you ask about, Kaghushund, he lived on that mountain. The crow is a very devious bird, yes, but devotees, Kaghushund himself confessed how many lifetimes he underwent. How many different forms he took. How many srap he got. But you know what happened? He attained liberation while in the form of the bird, the crow. Right? So liberation doesn't come in a human form, you know. It's a process. So different experiences he gained. but in the form of Riku, he reached to that point of liberation, self-realization. And he made the point, when you see this form, you attain to the high state, that form becomes very dear to you. So he chose to remain in that form. But remember, the Atma is not a bird. The Atma is not a hog. It's not a goat. Atma is a point of consciousness. And, it's like a bird in a cage. So in this case was, the bird was the cage for Kagbhushund. He was a liberated being. So Bhagavan Shankar is saying, Goddess Parvati, there I found Kagbhushund. Tasu nash kalpanta no hui. There's destruction. Now there's pralay and mahapralay. Pralay means destruction in the order of things. Mahapralay means destruction and reabsorption. Not that we're talking about. Because if everything is to be reabsorbed, everything dissolves. But here Bhagavan Shankar is saying, kalpa after kalp, destruction everywhere, but that place is untouched. Nothing happens to it. And O Parvati, Maya krita guna dosha yaneka muhamod adi viveka. You have all different forms of negativities. Maya, the Lord's most powerful, delusive potency. All different kind of faults, defects, etc. Hate, anger, lust, greed, jealousy. All these things that overpower man. Makes man indiscriminate. O Parvati, at that mountain, Rahe Vyapi Samasa Jagamahi, Teri Ki Nikat Kabahu Nahi Jahi. None of these negativities have any effect there. Even Maya has no effect there. No anger, no hate, no lust, no greed, no. What a wonderful place to be, devotees. No negativities, absolutely none. So those of you who like to go India and think, well, try to go and find Nilgiri Parbat now. Go and try to find Nilgiri Parbat. But I'll tell you where it is in a short while. So devotees, when I say where it is, I don't mean India, we're talking where it is here. I'll tell you where you could find it without going so far. So devotees, Bhagavan Shankar is saying, Goddess Parvati, no negativities, any effect on that mountain. And O Parvati, Taha basi gharihi bhaje jimikaga. That bird Kagbhushund, he remains there. And for the 24 hours of the day, he performs devotions to the Lord. 24 hours of the day. I want to ask how much time all perform devotion. No, not how much time is only temple, How much time you put your mind and do the devotion. You have to ask yourself, self-analysis. Yeah. 24 hours of the day. And therefore, this is why devotees, no negativities could go there. You have to read into it. If Maya contaminates all, but ineffective there, then it goes without saying that if we could maintain this type of attitude in life, where will negativities come from? What effect will they have? But no, you know what we do? We leave the doors open, we leave the window open. Thief, hello, come in. Come in, thief. Atithi Devo Bhava. We will treat you like God, come in. This is what we do. Careless living, not maintaining that high level of discipline spiritually. This is why we suffer the consequences. All of us. It's not God, we are responsible. So devotees, to understand how he prays now, let's go Chaupayu 2 and we will, how he prays for the 24 hours of the day. Yagvalak Muni said Bharadwaj, listen.
पर करु तर ध्यान सुधर जाप यज्ञ पढ़ाई करी कर आम छाह राम आम छाह कर मानस पूजा तजी हरि भजन काज नहीं दूजा तरक हरि कथा प्रसंग आवहि सुनाए अनेक विहंग रामचरित राम रामचरित विचित्र प्रेम सहित कर सब गाना जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
So devotees, for simplicity's sake, day is divided into 4 parts. So we have 24 hours. Midnight to 6 in the morning, we call it first part, the first prahar. Then 6 to midday, second, 12 to 6 evening, third, and 6 to 12 midnight, fourth prahar. There are 4 ages, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga, from the Hindu concept of time. So in each particular age, there was a particular type of devotion that was done. In Satyug, people mostly did meditation. They go into Gyaan. In Treta, people did yagya, Ashwamedhi yagya, Rajasuya yagya, jap and so on. From 6 to 12 midday. From 12 to 6 in the evening, mansik puja, more in the mind. Whatever type of mansik puja was done, but no physical ingredients, just more mind puja. And from 6 to 12 midnight, nothing else but the glorification of the Lord's name. Nothing else. So that's Kali Yuga. So Dwapar, Mansik, Kali Yuga, singing the praise of the Lord. That's why we are told in Kali Yuga, one of the easiest, the safest, the best and surest way to please that Lord is to chant His glories. Chauthi bhakti ma guna gana kare kapata tachigan. No scheme, no trick. No performance. And devotees, I don't like to dig up Jackspanyaness, but I like to do sometime, and when they come out, I spray them too. In today's world, even Hanuman Chalisa is being used for what? You think it's devotion? Some people have the devotion, but you have to look at the intent behind all this many times. It's just for create a show, an impression. Religion is used for that purpose. Bhajans, we have been used to raise funds. All this using religion becomes great business people. And then when things go wrong, you want to know why. Why? All that mirchi eye devotee, all that glitters na gold, no? No. And time proves all this thing, but it's for who want to learn it, who want to understand it. I mean, there's a good to come out of it, but if it is done genuinely with the right intent, imagine the effect that could have. But it's not genuine. And I can testify to that. And let me not go there. Devotees, so all depends upon what we do. So the first part of the day, Satyug, meditation. So when people want to meditate, that's the best part of the day. From 12 to 6 in the morning. You know what, 3:30 to a meditation class, no? 3:30 in the evening, you meditating? What people what mental gratification. Devotees, Kalbhushan will sit under the peepal tree. Peepal tree. So the place to sit also is very important to conduct the kind of actions you want to carry out. So meditation under the peepal tree, highly recommended. That hour in the morning. But be careful, because people say peepal tree ask for it. Now again, the structure of the peepal leaf is such, during the course of the day, photosynthesis creates a lot of oxygen. Nighttime, with transpiration, whatever, plenty carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a heavy air. It drops. So you sit down under the peepal tree that night, in nighttime, you want to sleep under the peepal tree, and this carbon dioxide is strangling you. People jump up, they go and get God, spirit humbuging them. Spirit. But all this time is what is happening there. But when you're meditating, again we won't go into details, your breathing, everything has to be under control. Nothing could affect you. But under the peepal tree is a very, very powerful place for meditation. And devotees, just to mention it, all these trees you speak about, they have been deified. You know why? Because of also the power medicinally. They have medicinal properties. That's again, we can't touch upon too much. Not now. So devotees, 12 to 6, under the peepal tree, meditation. From 6 to 12, Kalbhushan will perform according to the laws of Treta. He'll go under the pakar tree, the fig tree. And maybe this is one of the reasons why when people doing puja and so on, they want to put a banana plant to create that ambience. Right? Kalbhushan will sit under that, and according to the laws of Treta, jap tap, yagya, the sacrifices. Don't ask me how a bird will do how nothing, I don't know. Right? But jap yagya, pakarit karai. So from 6 to 12. In other words, best time for puja and so on is when? 6 to 12. Now come into that. Devotees after lunch, from 12 to 6. That's the time people kill and sleep. Tired, you eat your belly full. They can't even perform, no productivity in work. Kalbhushan is saying, Bhagwan Shankar is saying, under the mango tree, right? Manas puja, mansik puja. Sit under the mango tree and by himself goes into himself and identify element into element, mansik, no physical action. Yeah. Now, I have mentioned to you about mansik puja. Some people think, you imagine offering ingredients. Then I told you all, Lam Prithvi Atmakam, Om Ham Akash Atmakam. Yeah, that's one level. But devotee, when you go to a higher level, element merge in element. Pancha Tattva into the element. You know, this is where the yogis could go. High state of mansik puja. You become one with the universe. No different. All element, because everything make up with the same elements. Merging with them. Different stage. And devotees in the fourth prahar, in the evening time, under the banyan tree, Kalbhushan would sit. And there, Hari Bhajan. Kash nahi duja. Nothing else but Hari Katha. Hari Katha. Whenever he would sit under the peepal tree and he would make a sound, you know, devotees, whenever we are about to start, or do you remember what we normally say when we are about to start service something? Bole Sri Raja Ramachandra ki jai, or Ganjadhan Swami ki jai. Many people who do a lot of courses and so on, all they call them thing, icebreaker. When they very they give icebreaker, right, Raj? We break an ice long time. From since the dawn of creation, when we say Jai, Jai Jaikar, it's to attract attention. But the difference is, you know, sometimes we say Jai, and people even hear themselves. Sit down here, but mind all about. Well, let me go in negative, but we know all these things happen. So I say, wait, you say? So you're a big noise. Devotees Kalbhushan will give up a sound, and most likely to be in his own bird language, Boli Sri Raja Ramachandra ki jai. That sound will pervade the atmosphere. And what would happen? All the birds, from all the trees all around, all different species of birds, even the hunts, the swans, they would all come and sit under that tree and listen to Kalbhushan relating Ramayana Katha, the birds in bird language. All understand that? And the big difference is you're going to hear now, devotees. Kalbhushan, Ramcharita Vidhi, Vichitra Vidhi Nana. Glorious, how to express that? Prem Sahit, with love in his heart. Kar Sadar Gana, glorifying Sri Ram. You see, you could say it from here, you could say it to create impression, whatever, but when you see the Prem is there, something totally different, devotees. Ram Katha has that power, the bhakti, the feelings, Ram Katha. So reading, listening, all that, the attitude has to be right. So devotees, just to clarify this one time, remember I mentioned to you that we do puja in the evening time sometime. Right? Sometimes people do meditation, whatever. Look, I'll put it simply. Any moment of the day, we could experience the condition of Satyug, Treta, Dwapara, Kali Yuga. Any moment of the day. But I have to create it. So where there is sattva, sattvic prakriti, piety, then that is Satyug. Follow me. When there is some sattva with rajas prakriti, activity, notice Dwapar, yagya, action. If there is sat with rajas, in other words, activity done with sattva in mind, purity, special, that is Trita. Right? Dwapar devotees, you have some rajas and some tamas. And Kali Yuga, pure tamas. So in other words, the tamas we talk about here is not that negative. Tamas means motionlessness. Sit quiet. So when you do Kirtan bhajan, sit quiet. I spoke about, posture and so on and so forth. Kali Yuga, that time every night, you sit quietly, do Hari Kirtan, Hari Bhajan. Just sit and absorb yourself in it. So you can create that ambience of tamas. You can create the ambience of Dwapar, Treta, Satyug, anytime, every day. So when we do puja, I say I do puja at 10 o'clock, I do puja in the evening. You may not know it, one of the points I made. When I say we do what we call invocation, whatever one thing, what are we invoking? We are trying to create the ambience of Sattva, of Satyug. So you can perform your puja or Treta, because action you're doing. You create the ambience. If the Pandit know what you're doing. But first you have to know why you're saying first now. And if you don't, yes, go through motions. Go through motions. And most people go through motions. They didn't think about this. And scriptures outlining these things first. So it's to understand when you're doing puja and so on, what you could do puja anytime. But it's what conditions you create. You created there. We could do Kirtan, and we do Kirtan in the morning time. We're creating the ambience of Kali Yuga. Sit quietly, shut out the outside noise, focus on divinity. You create the ambience. So it all depends upon the skill, the experience, the spirituality of the person. So in other words, don't think there's something wrong you're doing. If you do puja 1 o'clock, but I try to avoid doing puja 1 o'clock because I am not sleepy. That is hard time, 1 o'clock, hard time to do puja away. Evening time, no problem, right? But devotees, you have to actually, both Srota and the Pandit, you have to create that kind of ambience. So that not you cannot do it. But if you don't create that ambience, the action just come to naught. Just wasting time. Nothing doing. You don't get the effect. So in other words, what I'm saying to all of us, wherever we are, you take a moment off, you want to do something, you want to create that feeling of Sattva, Dwapar, Treta, Kali Yuga, whatever, and you perform your action. And for the entire day, wherever you are, you can do this, wherever you are. And then what Bhagwan Shankar said, no negativities could contaminate you. None. But when you see you leave the temple and you go out and you come, everything negative gone. What do you expect to happen, devotees? You have to live the life. You have to live it like that every moment. You can do everything, but understand what you're doing. Let the spirituality be the base of it. Otherwise, everybody's subjected to the normal thing. You will suffer, you get a little bit happy, you go disappointed, you go through the normal rigmarole. Right? Until you can develop these conditions. But you have to know them first now. So when you sit down and you want to talk, you do this distracting, you're doing nothing. In addition, you get srap. It destroys you. So devotees, man could make himself, man could break himself. As Bhagwan Gita says, man lifts himself by himself, man sings himself by himself. But you have to know what's causing it. So knowledge is power here. If you know what you're doing, devotees, life could be a divine song. Bhagwan Shankar said, God is Parvati. I saw that. I saw this wonderful setting there. And devotees, he said, listen to what I did. O Parvati, listen to what I did. Let's wrap it up, devotees.
सुनहि विमल मति सकल मरल बसहि निरंतर ज्योति हिताला जब मैं जाय सो कौतुक देखा उर उपजा आनंद विषेक जब मैं जाय सो कौतुक देखा उर उपजा आनंद विषेक जय सिया राम 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 जय रघुराम जय रघुराम जय परम धाम जय परम धाम जय सुख धाम जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय हनुमान जय सिया राम जय हनुमान तब कछु काल मराल तनु धरि तह कीन निवास सादर सुनि रघुपति चरित मुनि आयो कैलाश सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरण. So Parvati, when Kagbhushan would make his sound, all those birds, including the hunts, the swans, they would all congregate. When I saw this great happening, Ura Upaja Ananda Vishekha, a bliss took hold of my heart that was inexpressible. Bara Anand hua, Hriday mein, Bara Anand. So what I did, O Parvati, तब मैंने भी कुछ समय तक हंस का रूप धारण करके I transformed myself into that of a hans, the bird of the form of a hans, the swan, to sit among the hans. And so, O Parvati, I listened. Sadar suni Raghupati Charita, Sadar, Sa-Adar, with great reverence. Adar se, Raghunath ji ki Charit Savan kar, how you listen to, that reverence that you have is important. That determines what the outcome will be for you. So, the reader reads with love in his heart, the listener listens with reverence, unwavering mind. If you build this kind of vibration, devotees, you knock out all negativities, all negativities. This is where we have to strive to reach. Bhagavan Shankar said, Goddess Parvati, I sat there and I listened to the Katha of Bhagavan Sri Ram from the beak of Kagbhushan. And after quite some time, that's it, my mind transformed. I returned to Kailas Parvat to continue my duties. The power of Sri Ram Katha transformed me, helped me out of that state, took me beyond the physical. I overcame all that external stimuli, O Parvati. And devotees, why he assumed the form of a hans? I always make this point. I mean, he could assume the form of a kubu. I don't know, they didn't mention kubu here. I don't know if they have kubu in them days. We have kubu in Trinidad. But the hans, why? The hans has an enzyme in its beak. If you mix milk and water and give it to the hans will release that enzyme into the water. It will help the milk to coagulate, so you can extract all the milk and leave the water behind. Now this symbolizes an attitude we need to have when we sit down to listen. And you have to ask yourself if you listen with that attitude. One of what? You take the milk and leave the water behind. So the enzyme is here. The attitude, discriminative power. You analyze closely, listen closely, and you take all the milk, leave the water behind. But if you don't listen carefully, you're taking the water only, and you're going back home. And many people behave like that. In between, you listen a little bit, something attracts you, listen a little bit, then something distracts you, and your mind gone. And they say, you listen to Katha. Don't fool yourself. Do it right. Every moment we have, do it the right way. And this is authority from Bhagavan Shankar. So when we come to sit down in yag and so on, puja, this is the attitude we must have. Shut out everything otherwise. Everything otherwise. Discriminative power. You look for the milk and reject everything otherwise. And if you can do that, devotees, transformation takes place. Transformation takes place. So this, devotees, is the power of Ramayana. This discourse itself, Bhagavan Shankar said, God is powerful. And we said many things about it. But from a yogic perspective, devotees, which part in the body you think you have that mountain with the 4 peaks? I can't give you details, but I've been mentioning to you gradually as we go along about the chakras in the body. Right? And if you analyze the chakras, there is Mooladhara chakra, which are the base of the spine. So going north in the body implies what? Going up, they go up. Going down, consciousness goes down. Mooladhara chakra, the 4 peaks, the 4 lotus flowers, the 4 petal lotus. Mooladhara controls all emotions, everything within the body. So in other words, where there's, and in Mooladhara, Kundalini resides. If awakened, all powers come. So in other words, the journey devotee, from a yogic perspective, you can do it inside. But from our perspective, we sit down where we are, you listen carefully, right? You have the 4 peaks devotees. In our discourses, you have Gyaan, Karam, Dhyan, and Bhakti. The 4, platforms, so to speak. Gyaan Yoga. You have Karam Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyaan Yoga. In all our discourses, you have these 4. You have to know. And that pond of devotees naturally will be the pond of devotion. Satsang, you dive in it. Sit down right here. If you can't do the yoga, the action themselves right here could take you there. This is the power of the whole thing. Not really going in there looking for Nirgir Parvat. If you want to go try, go try. Go try and find it. But you can find it inside. You can find it right here. Because this is a microcosm of the universe. But devotees, if you follow all this, when you come to this final state here, it is called Niruddhaman. The highest state. It goes beyond one-pointed. One-pointed because you focus upon something that is material here. The material effect, the mountain. But when Bhagavan Shankar sat and listened to the Katha, Niruddhaman, shut out every single thing. Mind focus only on spirituality. Hanumanji, sitting his mind only on the feet of Sri Ram, nothing otherwise. That is the highest state. And anytime you could reach there, you're free from bondage. Bhagavan Shankar was freed from whatever challenges. So devotees, all that we say, whatever one thing, remember, you have to do it for yourself. You're on your own. Everybody. So Bhagavan Shankar, they listened to Sri Ram's Katha Bill. In a simple bhajan, summarize it and we'll wrap it up here, devotees. There are different bhajans we can't sing, but that's simple one we can do, right? Ram Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manurame Sahasranama Tattulyam Shri Rama Nama Varanane Ram Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Bhaju Ram 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 Siya Ram Bhajle Ram Ram Siya Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram धर्म काज पृथ्वी पर आए दशरथ जी के पुत्र कहाए जनकपुरी में शिव धन तोरा सती सिया संग नाथ जोड़ा सिया पिया बन राम प्रभु कहलाए सीताराम भजु राम राम सिया राम भजु राम राम सिया राम पिता वचन के पालन हारे राजपाट जीवन को सिधारे विश्वामित्र यज्ञ रखवाले सती अहल्या तारनहारे पंचवती को बना दिया एक राजा धर्म तथा सेना सहित चढ़े लंका पर, अभिमानी रावण को मारा, सीता को संकट से उबारा। राम राज हो गया देश में, गुन गाए हनुमान। भजो राम राम सिया राम, भजो राम राम सिया राम। राम 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 राम, राम राम भजो राम। राम राम सिया राम, भजो रे राम राम सिया राम। भजो राम राम सिया राम, भजो राम राम सिया राम। राम से बड़ा राम का नाम, राम से बड़ा राम का नाम। भजो राम भजो राम, भजो राम भजो राम, भजो राम भजो राम, भजो राम भजो राम। राम से बड़ा राम का नाम, राम से बड़ा राम का नाम, राम से बड़ा राम का नाम। आदौ रामोपनादिगमनं हत्वा मृगं कांचनं, वैदेही हरणं जटायु मरणं, सुग्रीव संभाषणं, बाली निर्दलनं समुद्र तरणं, लंकापुरी दाहनं, पश्चात् कुंभकर्ण रावण हननं। एतद्धि रामायणं। श्री सीतारामचंद्राय नमो नमः। बोलिए श्री राजा रामचंद्र की। Devotees, Ramayana is a treatise on life. It can provide us all of life's solutions to whatever problems we may have. So, it's highly recommended people should study Ramayana. The stories are beautiful, but the essence of Ramayana is inexpressible. So, we are putting some of it to you, and whatever I put to you, are just scratching here and there in the devotees, plenty more. But a lot of it you can analyze in your head. In a satsang, we can't do everything. So study Ramayana and try to understand the technique I am using. Try to see the inner meaning, but importantly, how it applies to you as a person, to you. Okay? If you can do that, big difference. Boliye Shri Raja Ramachandra ki. Please all stand, devotees. So we will have our prarthana.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare. भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जो जावे फल पावे, दुख बिन किस विधि मिलो दया में, किस विधि मिलो दया में, तुमको मैं घूमती। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, ठाकुर तुम मेरे, स्वामी ठाकुर तुम मेरे। अपने हाथ उठाओ, अपने हाथ उठाओ, द्वार बड़ा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
शिव हरे शिव राम सखी प्रभु, त्रिविध ताप निवारण हे विभु। अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां, शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरम्। शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरम्। प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलं, प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलम्। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गदध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनुहरीं। ओम लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजया, येषाम् इन्दिवर्षां हृदयस्तु जनार्दनम्। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्रान्तु पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं, यत्पूजितं मया देवा परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय, ओम तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतम्। ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। गर्व से कहो, गर्व से कहो, गर्व से कहो, बोले श्री राजा रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, आशक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की, बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की। शुभ मस्त ब्लेसिंग्स योर।
ओम जय स्वाहा माता, मैया जय स्वाहा माता। तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम सच्ची माता। ओम जय स्वाहा